Let's watch a full-length movie on YouTube with Mike Spiegelman. Let's watch a full-length movie on YouTube with Mike Spiegelman. Let's watch it. Hi, this is Carl. I wrote this song. I'm Mike's friend. My turn-ons are satin sheets. I love to be outdoors. Follow me on Twitter. Jokes to Carl. The French duh, not the duh. Let's watch a full-length movie on YouTube with Mike Spiegelman. Let's watch a full-length movie on YouTube with Mike Spiegelman.
LWAFLMOYT. Welcome to Mutiny Radio. The acronym stands for Let's Watch a Full-Length Movie on YouTube with Mike Spiegelman and Carl. Hi, Carl. Welcome to Mutiny Radio.
Thank you, Mike. Happy to be here in the heart of the Mission District in San Francisco.
That's right.
Whatever day this is airing, November something.
we stream first on Mutiny Radio here in the Mission District every Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, SFT as it were, or NJT would be 5 p.m. New Jersey time.
NJT.
We like to watch a full-length movie on YouTube with you, and we would like you to listen to our podcast and watch the movie at the same time. And I do say podcast. If you're not listening to us live, perhaps you're listening to our podcast that drops under our acronym LWAFLMOYT. And we also have a YouTube channel with the same acronym, which is
LWAFLMOYT.
Sounds great, Carl. Good to see you again. What movie are we seeing today?
Today we will watch the Buster Keaton Story, 1957. The Buster Keaton Story, 1957. That's what you put in the YouTube search engine, and the channel we like is called Make 'em Laugh.
Now, we are friends of Make 'em Laugh. We watched the movie on that channel before.
What did we see? I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but
I just remember laughing my ass off.
Oh, you got to make them laugh. Well, all right, so go ahead. We are going to be watching, as Carl said, the Buster Keaton Story from 1957.
Keaton.
Type in the title, type in the year, and when you see Make 'em Laugh, that is the channel that is hosting the movie we're watching. Click the link, hit pause, relax, smoke a doob, move the timer to 00.
Drink it.
Take a drink. Man, you must be fucked up before this movie. Are you the type that drinks before you you eat all the popcorn during the trailer and then you drink like everything? I'm going to sneak in a bottle of booze and then it's like gone. Well,
that's happened in my life that I've had the popcorn before the movie starts. Not in this case. It was a banana.
This movie is so suspenseful. You will be holding popcorn on your fingertips to your mouth, unable to complete the task. Right? I guess.
Unable to go.
All right. So we want you to go ahead and find it. Carl, you are bananas.
Yeah, whoa.
Oh, you're doing a little slapstick?
That joke in. You slipped that joke in, and it appealed.
Carl, in honor of Buster Keaton, is going to take a banana peel and throw it randomly in his house.
Just like in that in Fish Burgers, you had the banana. It was Best Loved Drug Songs, and you ate the banana and you go, whoa!
We should mention, and I think this is appropriate because we did a better job than this movie, if you ask me. 30 years ago, we had a public access TV show on New Jersey cable, suburban Essex County suburban cable.
It was No, it wasn't Storer Cable. It was suburban access. Was that it?
Yeah, I think so. So and now. Public access TV shows. That's so 30 years ago.
Find it on YouTube, though. Look, Fish Burgers. It's the name of the channel. You'll see Mike as a young man.
Yeah, you're very young.
Still stumbling over every word he speaks.
Right, but I'm drunker and smokier than I was as I am now. Yeah, youth. All right, well, so you got a recommendation? Check out our Fish Burgers page on YouTube. And we want you to go ahead, Find the movie. Sounds complicated, but don't worry. We are going to talk to a celebrity comedian, give you a couple minutes to get yourself ready.
Yeah.
Learn about a new guy, a new comedian, new woman. I don't know. I haven't heard this yet, but I'm really excited. Carl, take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Celebrity Comedian Countdown, this time with Rebecca Caddis. Welcome, Rebecca.
Thank you.
Now, you and I know each other out there on the comedy scene. We're always bumping into each other at a show, Chip Ambrosio or Anthony Quinn or something. We see each other at open mics. How long have you been doing comedy? Because you've been out there as long as I have.
It'll be 7 years in December.
Wow, 7 years.
Yeah.
Okay. That added up quick. I mean, you know.
Yeah, I started when I was 40. That was like my mother got me a class for my 40th birthday.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah.
Now, you are a teacher, and this is your profession. And just like me, we have our regular job and we have our comedy job. So I'm wondering, because I hear all these stories about teachers, has comedy ever in a bad way bumped into your teaching, threatened your job?
No, I really try. I mean, I've mentioned it in passing, but it's not like I crowd work my students or anything. I don't have a lot out there that's easy to find. You would have to really want to find me.
Gotcha.
If you didn't, you would have to really have a great curiosity to start digging around as a student or a parent, and the students don't care.
That sounds like you're very safe. I mean, I've interviewed teachers on this podcast for the countdown who have gotten into trouble. One of them even got let go.
Right. I think I know who you're talking about. No, you have to be careful.
Yeah.
If you want to keep your job, if you want to, keep your car on the road.
Now, your fellow comedians are a debauched group of misfit degenerates. Now, they get up there at the open mics and they just let it all fly. Now, I've seen you at the open mics visibly shocked by their content, and you even comment on it when you get up and start doing your routine. Tell me about it. How do you feel about this? How do you handle it?
Well, it doesn't, unless it's directed, directed at me, which usually it isn't. Not that they're so respectful, but I think they know better. But other than that, I mean, you can't be easily offended if you're going to enjoy comedy, get on shows, go on open mics. It's not, it's not my job to correct, I'm not their teacher. And also I say what I want too, and I can go a little blue.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen you go blue, but it's a nice blue. These guys, I know that you're not offended, but I do see your jaw drop at some of the things they say.
Right. Well, you know what it is? You know what? It's mostly the things when somebody says something, they can say it as shocking as they want. And, like the comic saying is, you can say anything you want as long as it's funny. It's got to be, if it's funny and clever enough, you could talk about anything. But if it's not quite funny enough or clever enough, it's just kind of nasty. And the one thing that I'm not a fan about, like I said, I'm not offended, but misogyny makes me zone out. It's overdone. It's, there's just, so sometimes I'm like, I can't believe they're going for that low hanging fruit again.
Yeah. Well, that's the next place I was going to go. You are a female comedian, and there just aren't a lot of you out there, Do you have any issues in comedy not getting booked or not getting paid attention to or something like that? Anything you want to express about being a female comedian?
You know what? Not really. I don't know. I don't think it would have to do with my gender more. I think sometimes I don't, I'm also not the same. I'm also like at least a half a generation or a generation older than the majority of the comics out there. So I have to fight a little harder for them to even listen.
Gotcha. Huh. Are you a comedian or a comedian?
Comedian.
Okay. So what about Anthony Quinn? You've been on his podcast, right?
Yes.
He regularly has you on. Were you on late night? I think you were.
I was on late night once, and I was on a lot of podcasts, mostly during the pandemic. But sometimes, if there's he's got the conspiracy podcast and the food addict podcast, and both of those I find relatable. Right. And so if I heard something or saw something, once or twice, I said, "Did you ever do a podcast on that? Because if not, I want it."
Gotcha. Now you're a little privileged. You're very often invited on his podcast. Other people go on like once or twice. I mean, you're should feel a little honored, right?
Yeah, no, I do, and I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I enjoy talking about things because they're not things you can bring up in conversation. Like I eat myself silly, and I like to talk about Scientology all day long. But you can't just you can't just start off like that. And
right.
Most people don't want to engage in that conversation. I appreciate that he indulges my quirks.
Yeah, it's the right audience, the right environment, listening. So it's good to have an outlet because I've been there too. There's things that I can talk about on Anthony Quinn. If I'm at Thanksgiving dinner, nobody wants to hear about Scientology.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so Rebecca Caddis, how can people find you out there on the interwebs, on social media? Where can they get a hold of you? And not that students should, and check you out, go to a show.
It's very easy. My Facebook is Rebecca Caddis, and my Instagram is RM Caddis, R as in Rebecca, M as in Mary Caddis. And so I'm pretty easy to find. And I am very easy to book. Hint, hint.
No, it's C-A-D-I-Z. C-A-D-I-Z for the audio listeners.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Now speaking of those audio listeners, it's very important that everyone at home presses play at the same time we do here in the studio. We are poised to watch this film. So why don't you go ahead, Rebecca Caddis, and give us that celebrity comedian countdown.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Thank you, celebrity comedian, for that countdown. That's actually very interesting. I'm glad I'm going to hear it later.
I think that was probably one of our best, if not the best, celebrity comedian countdown we've had.
Hands down, the best. This is the sad, happy, loving story of one of the immortals of the silent screen.
This is
it
the
Fatty
sad,
Arbuckle?
happy, incorrect story, because this movie
Incorrect?
is all wrong.
What are you talking about? It says the Harold Lloyd story.
No, Buster Keaton. But anyway, it's all like they amalgamate characters and they make up stuff and they don't show the whole picture. And this film's pretty bad. It was written by a very talented guy, a talented TV producer and director. He was doing movies at this point, Sidney Sheldon. But he didn't do a good job with this film's story. It is not really Buster Keaton.
Now, Buster Keaton was still alive, of course, at this time. He was going to do It's a Mad, 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 Mad World in like 65, maybe 63. And this is 57. So he's alive and well when they released it. He's
alive and well, and he got $50,000 to give the rights to his film. Now, look, to his life. Now, right there, it says the 3 Keatons.
Yeah.
And they're the lowest billing.
Right.
Well, right away, they're wrong.
What do you mean?
They weren't lowly billed. They were highly billed. They were headliners many times. Now, like you might say, well, there's many points in their career, but you'll see, it'll fast forward to the future and they'll still be at the bottom, the lowest rung. That's just not the truth. They were an established act and people, they were headliners.
Now, were they called what's that?
They were part of the Harry Houdini show where he would do the magic and everything.
Punch your gut for $1. Nah, not today. Thanks, Buster.
Now, Buster got $50,000 for this, and that made him financially solvent for the rest of his life. He was able to buy a house in San Fernando Valley, and that was the house he lived in until he died. This movie doesn't do a good service by Buster Keaton, but it certainly paid him. Now watch, there's little Buster, and he can't get a bite to eat.
It's
And watch him
hysterical.
fight for it. Give me that. The first time I ever saw this, I really felt bad for Buster. He couldn't even, I mean, when he came through the door, he was like starving.
Right.
I said, go and eat, Buster.
Oh, this is Keaton. This is my favorite act.
Yes.
It's Michael, Diane, and Buster.
And it's Tito, Jermaine. Now, this kind of doesn't make sense to me. He's going to like swing a basketball, which I think would hurt. Maybe it's not a basketball. But I don't get the setup. Why is it occurring?
Is he dressing down the singing opera star?
But is that a thing when you don't like the opera, you
throw a
guy with the baseball with the basketball?
No, but this reminds me of that game we would play at school. Oh, he fell off the table.
Right.
Whoa!
Now that was by mistake, and he's hurt.
I'm in the audience, Carl, and I love it. I'm a vaudevillian audience member, Mike, with my pal Carl, and we are just rip roaring.
Well, actually, because the audience laughed so much, every single show that they would do this sketch in, he would on purpose fall from that point forward.
Why would Abraham Lincoln make his son fall every show? 1904.
Yeah,
it
but
was only
now
50 years ago.
16 years later.
16 years later, and they're
still at the bottom of the
below
barrel.
the dogs.
Right, they're under the dogs. It's only the two Keatons because Buster's off to Hollywood.
Oh yeah, I just read that in the newspaper. You know, standard acts splitting up. Many try Hollywood.
They're going to do that throughout the whole film. They're going to give us plot points that are overarching by newspaper article. Now, listen, I want you to know that's not true at all. Buster Keaton bumped into Fatty Arbuckle in Manhattan, okay? And that's where they were filming. He worked for Arbuckle for like 3 years before they together moved out to Hollywood. I might be wrong on the time frame there, but I'm saying it just isn't this. This movie has him crashing the gate. You know what I mean? Right. Sneaking onto the lot and getting discovered. It's just a bunch of hooey.
Well, you know, this is a very famous studio.
Oh, that's very famous. Now, look, here's Buster trying to get in, faking his way in, as if real life is one of his movies.
Yeah. And we should mention Donald O'Connor. We talked about him before. He's from Singing in the Rain, and he was in Francis the Talking Mule. That's where we know this guy.
Just saw,
yes. Which we saw him join the Wax, which is Wax because he's not even a chick, and that's the joke. Typical backstage.
I did Cheap Trick for our theme song for that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, you'll hear
LWAFLMOYT.
That's right.
I love it. Yeah, we picked the perfect name for our show. Sure, it's about 12 letters.
Yeah, we didn't pick it. You didn't pick it.
I didn't pick it. The studio gave it to us.
It's a clunker, but you've embraced it. And you said, that's right, bitches. LWAFL. Yeah, good luck. Good luck finding it.
It's the internet world. You can't use normal words. You have to have something completely unique.
You made that up you embraced that pre-pandemic.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I'm ahead of my time. Oh, I could do better.
Now, he does not do a good job.
Peter Lorre.
Yeah, Peter Lorre.
He's all right. He's on your side. He's not Sidney Greenstreet. Do you know that song by the Jazz Butcher? Peter Lorre, he's all right. He's on your side.
He's not
Sidney Greenstreet from Maltese Falcon.
Yeah, from Maltese Falcon, but also 9 other films they did together.
Sidney Greenstreet and Peter Lorre did 9 films total?
The second of the 9 films which Lorre and Greenstreet appeared in together. Yeah. We're skipping a bunch of his history, but that's cool. He started... The Maltese Falcon in 1941 was the first one with like Humphrey Bogart and Sidney Greenstreet.
Sure.
And Casablanca's the famous one. He would do 9 in total. That's a lot.
Oh, that's right. I forgot he was in Casablanca and Maltese Falcon. I'm a Maltese Falcon man. I've seen that movie numerous times, and I've seen Casablanca once at a film class that got upset because I was breathing through my mouth too hard, and they kept looking at me.
Now, listen, I got to tell you right now, Casablanca is the good film, and Maltese Falcon is very bad. It's flat. It's very poorly
What are you
written.
talking about? He's a
Yes,
total
yes.
shithead. Look, his partner dies. First thing he does is scrape the guy's name off the door. He's done with him. It's a good movie.
So
It's a good movie. He's a shit
charms.
heel. He's a total shit, and he sells out everybody at the end. It's a great movie. I watched Maltese Falcon more times than I watched Casablanca.
I know. I think that's backwards, but okay. So Buster has now broken into the set, and he is making his rounds. And the first thing he did was he was talking to the casting director, and he didn't know it, and he was talking down to her and being shitty.
Oh no!
Now he goes up to the star. So her name is Gloria Brent in this movie. Okay. By the way, she's still alive today. She's like the only one.
Wow.
And so he goes, who's the casting director? You know, and they go, Brent over there, Brent. He thinks it's Mr. Brent. So he will call Gloria Mr. Brent throughout the whole film.
Classic. And is that really Cecil B. DeMille?
Well, not yet, but we'll see him. Yeah.
He's going to play himself?
Right? He plays himself.
He was kind of one of those personality directors like Hitchcock during the 50s.
Yeah.
Like people knew of him. Even our friend Otto from The Great Gabbo, Eric von Stroheim. Right. People knew him as a celebrity. I guess Orson Welles too.
Yes, Orson Welles for sure was a celebrity director, and maybe the granddaddy of them.
Maybe you're right. Yeah, he was a showman. You know. So she's gonna say, "Well, I'm the casting director, right?"
Right. Well, yeah. It turns into, "Excuse me, Mr. Brent. Are you Mr. Brent? Excuse me, Mr. Brent." And he goes, "She's Mr. Brent." And he goes, "Oh, imagine that, an old friend." And she happens to be the casting director. You know, because they met a minute ago.
Nice save, Donald.
But she doesn't like him. She's not impressed with him. And he goes, she's like, You're too short. Your ears hang too low. Your eyes aren't lined up right." And he's like, "This isn't a beauty contest. I'm a comedian. You don't got to be pretty to make someone laugh."
I vaude. Did you know my resume? I was a vaudevillian. I vauded across the country. Do you think if vaudevillian was current now and just the way we know open micers work, will people be like, "Yeah, man, I'm a road vaud. I don't do this like open mic vaud shit. I go around the world. I go around the country. I drive around and I vaud everywhere.
I'm a vauder.
I'm a vauder. What are you?
So she's like, "Fine, vaudeville star, make me laugh." So he goes off to do it. Now, Peter Lorre's the director. He plays it very flat. I like his character. I don't mean flat as like he didn't do it right. I mean his character's flat. Now, that's Uncle Fester getting put into the pot.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw Steve Coogan, right?
Jackie.
Steve Coogan is Alan Partridge. He's the British director. He was in Stan and Ollie. I'm thinking of. Yeah.
And Cecil B. DeMille is right above Peter Lorre right now, fucking with the camera.
Oh, no shit. Good for him. I always liked you. You know how they always like, you ever see Man, I'm all over the place, but you've seen Man in the Moon, right? The Andy Kaufman biography. Yes. It's not true. Events are kind of jumbled around. Mm-hmm. And then the worst part is that during the funeral scene, everybody who never showed up at his funeral play themselves at attending the funeral.
Oh.
So, so I'm sure Cecil B. DeMille, now he's buddies with Buster Keaton, according to this movie, right? He's very amiable.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, now, so Uncle Fester goes up and is like, "Look, something's wrong, Peter Lorre. Nobody's laughing." And he goes, "You just play the scene. They'll laugh when it's on screen." And then Buster Keaton goes, "No, they won't." And he goes, "Who said that?" And he calls him over. He goes, "Oh, we are graced to have an amazing comedian." Right? So he's like, "Why don't you show me how to do it?" He's sarcastically saying, "Go ahead."
Oh, wait a minute. Is he asking him to make me laugh?
Yes.
No.
Okay, so now, once again, audience, none of this fucking shit happened. That's why this movie is a curse, because you will think that you saw, "Oh yeah, Buster Keaton, he broke into the lot and he did it." They said,
"Yeah, he told him off. He told off Sidney Greenstreet's pal." Yeah,
Cecil B. DeMille was there.
I have to think. There was a film called Wired, the John Belushi movie, which was the seventh movie this podcast did back in the
Oh,
day
I
on
do.
YouTube, and grabbed onto it. It is not on YouTube, otherwise we would rewatch it, Carl. Absolutely.
Okay.
But one of the things the John Belushi biography did, one of the worst movies of the 80s from 89, is that they didn't have the rights to any of the Saturday Night Live bits. So they would have to create their own bits.
Right.
So for the most part, they had the music rights for the Blues Brothers. So most of the time when Belushi was on SNL in the movie, like, look at this bit. This is fucking racist bullshit. He never did this shit.
Well,
just
it's
making
not
it up.
because, listen, it's not because it's racist.
Right.
And
But it's
please
stupid.
don't be woke, because this is why we're woke today, because of this old bullshit. We shouldn't
Yeah,
be
right,
mad
right.
at it. Now, look.
But yeah.
Oh, go ahead to finish your story, because I'm just going to tell you what's going on in the film.
No, go ahead and tell me what's going on in this film. I just don't think there was ever a movie with Buster Keaton with this scene in it.
That's very possible. Now, Buster Keaton. Okay, all I was going to say is that this is the whole make me laugh thing, and he is doing it. So the end of this scene should result in him getting hard or something.
Right.
But it doesn't.
Well, because he's an asshole show off and amateur who should get off the lot.
Well, this is funny.
Is it? It's like watching Wire, where they make up. See, some of the sketches they did in Wire reflected John Belushi's life. So it was a doctor with the Groucho Marx glasses telling him, "Why'd you take 2 lines and call me in the morning, honk honk?" And it's like, you guys don't have any rights to the SNL bit. So I wonder, like, and
Well, what I
because
was going to say is, you're probably right that this never was a real movie or something like that.
I'm betting the farm on it.
But Keaton was on set and helped them with all reenactment of his old movies. He even put new things in.
Oh, so maybe, all right. Well, then I take it back.
Now watch. Here's his humiliating defeat. They were just having him on. But meanwhile, he was making them laugh.
Oh, they spent all this time and energy just to make him look like a fool on the set?
Yeah, because it's a movie. The
They
guy
lit a
was
fire on the set?
out of his budget, right? He's supposed to be, yeah. So now he's embarrassed, and he's basically gonna leave with his head between his.
Jeez, he's a pretty skinny guy. I mean, he's what, 97 soaking wet?
You know, he does. This Donald O'Connor does not do a good job of being Buster Keaton. He does not have the deadpan.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, the worst part is that we have to watch him reenact scenes from the movies. So you're watching, again, I'm going to bring up other biographies. Lenny, Dustin Hoffman playing Lenny Bruce, doing full-on routines. Their soundtrack was Lenny Bruce, Dustin.
Lenny Bruce.
Yeah. So it was Dustin Hoffman as Lenny Bruce. That was the soundtrack.
Right.
So you can listen to him doing Lenny Bruce routines as it. So I don't know. There's some people, like, I saw that new Elvis movie, and that guy Austin Taylor, whatever his name is, Butler, did a fucking fantastic job.
I should see it.
Yeah, of course you should see it, Carl.
I think I have $16 left on my AMC movie card.
It's on HBO Max. Aren't you, like, wired for the 21st century?
No, I have Hulu with ads.
Right,
I have
me too.
Netflix. I've got, of course, Roku. You turned me on to Tubi, which is pretty good.
Pretty good.
And I get Showtime, but it comes for free somehow. I didn't sign up for that. I had HBO Max pirated for a short time. And
yes, keep going.
That was fun.
They kept scrambling the R-rated movies. It was like nostalgic for you.
Okay, so now we're getting a surprise. He's been kicked out and humiliated, but Gloria comes along and says, "I want you to report on Monday morning to the what?" So this is real. This was like one of the first times he got noticed by the studio. Now Donald does an okay job,
right,
of doing everything Buster Keaton did. But the thing is, it's just not special to me because
I agree with you.
Like that. You see that, like, fling into the air? It was obvious, I'm acting fling. Whereas
absolutely.
Buster Keaton, a fuck up happened, you think, as a viewer, Well,
he was the master of the deadpan, right? He would fuck up and you would see it on his face that he's not, you get to see it on his face, which is nothing.
That literally comes from vaudeville. He found out that when he would get knocked about on stage and fall and pratfall, you know, he used to make, oh, I got hurt, or whoa, that was fun, or something. Then, but he got harder laughs when he kept his face completely still. Like he could, like he didn't, he doesn't, like everything's getting past him. He doesn't know what's going on. So that's how that was born.
It's remarkable, man. Like we're more than willing as a civilization to laugh at someone slipping, but the reason is because we look in their face and we see ourselves.
Yes,
this could totally happen to us.
Yes. So that's where his deadpan came about. If he just acts like, what the fuck? Like he's a little bit dumb. To kind of like it's going too quick for him.
We've watched a few of his movies, and of course, I infamously referred to him as Harold Lloyd because I liked the movie so much. I didn't give Buster Keaton the credit. But
the General was fabulous.
Yeah, it's an amazing. Like it's everything you want to see in an action film, action comedy.
And well, that's all I wanted to say about it.
Yeah. Oh, the preview cards, Carl. This is still happens today here in Hollywood. Oh,
today it's Yelp. Now look,
hey, I gotta turn off the studio oven. I'll be right back.
Okay. Damn it. Okay. On the left, if you're old like me, you'll see that Tom is sitting there, and Tom is Oscar Goldman from the $6 Million Man. Later in The Bionic Woman, but we all know that was a spin-off. That was like Superdog. Buzz, bring Mr. Keaton in here. Now, Tom and Gloria will go on to have a romance. Like Tom is the competing love interest against Buster. You wanted to see me, Mr. Larry what?
Carl.
Larry Winters. You want wonderful audience. I know you can't see, but he just showed me some sort of casserole fresh out of the oven, the Mutiny Radio oven. Okay, so anyway, right now they're like, they don't say people liked you, but it's pretty obvious that he's there. They're not saying that people liked him, but it's pretty obvious he's there because people liked him. So they're offering him some rinky-dink little start out thing. So and then we could talk about it in 2 or 3 years. And so
3 years. So is this like a short, like a 20-minute, or?
No, he did well in the film. He performed well. So they're giving him, okay, you could do more of the same. And he goes, great, I can direct. And they go, no, Buster, you cannot direct. And he goes, we'll talk about that in 2 or 3 years. And he goes, fine, we'll talk about it in 2 or 3 years, and leaves. So Gloria will go after him. What the fuck you doing, man?
And I want all artistic control. Sure, in 3 years. Okay,
see you then.
As it happened.
I don't know. I don't think so. You know, I mean, where's Fatty Arbuckle? You know, he's coming up the ranks. He didn't go and shoot one thing and then they read cards and offered him something. This is all a lie. Yeah. Why would Sidney do that? Listen, Sidney is good. Sidney Sheldon. He would go on to do the Patty Duke show. I Dream a Genie. He made a Heart to Heart. He made he was abroad. He did 6 Broadway plays. And he got an Oscar for something he wrote. It's called The Bachelor and the Bobby Soxer. I have no idea anything.
Oh, I think I saw that one.
47.
I was thinking with Debbie Reynolds with it. I'm thinking of something else.
That's not in front of me right now.
All right. Well, no worries. No, actually, I'm thinking of a different director.
Oh, okay. Now, what weird thing happened is when he was done with directing, he started writing romance novels. And he was a fucking hit.
Because doesn't that name ring a bell?
Yes. Sidney Sheldon.
Whether it's the romance novels I read or the I Dream of Genie reruns I watch.
Now, right now, it'll be like, Buster, you're crazy. You're giving it all away. And then Larry will come out of his office and say, come here, you. And
hello, Larry.
Right. She goes, you can go back to vaudeville. And he goes, I don't need to. I just became a movie star. And he walks in. Of course, I'm doing the voice much better than Donald O'Connor ever did.
He has in his talkies, Carl.
Yeah.
It sounds like they deflated a punching bag And then they left the punching bag in the garage,
You
and then
just
they dragged it out for the
never
movie.
heard him from the start, right? If the first
Right.
time you ever saw Buster Keaton, he was doing the same pantomime, but it was a talkie. You know, if you knew his voice, you would have accepted it.
Ouch.
It's like when you see the radio star's face, and you're like, "Ew!"
Right, Michael Savage. Well, that was the great thing about Howard Stern, and he made no bones about it. He went ahead and got contact lenses, and he shaved that mustache, and he grew out his hair originally, or maybe he just had the extensions to begin with.
Tried to look like a rock star. Okay, so here we have our movie star.
Yes.
And she knows that Buster Keaton is a rising star, so she's waiting for Buster Keaton to come and ask her out.
Hello.
Now, this person is fake, of course, but they're sort of like an amalgamation of a bunch of people. Where is it?
How many times was Buster really married?
3.
Ugh.
The last one was the real one. The last one was somebody who really loved him and he loved her. The character Peggy Courtney, that's her name, Peggy, and she's going out to dinner with Buster. And Buster will be like low class and he'll get embarrassed. She's a veiled reference to Buster Keaton's mother-in-law, Margaret Talmadge, who was known as Peg. That's the second wife who took the kids. The character, this character is a composite of Norma Talmadge, Mae Murray, who he's married to, and Gloria Swanson. Now,
really?
Yes, but why make one? Why not just tell the Buster Keaton story? You know, there's really a good story there if they would just tell it. When the kid was in vaudeville, one time a tornado came and swept him away. He got locked in a trunk and he almost suffocated.
That would be awesome to watch.
There are movie plot points, you know what I mean? Like things to watch in the real life story. He was in a sanitarium for drinking. He didn't just hang out in his house like this movie does, you know. And his story was, he was really talented, you know. He meets Fatty Arbuckle. Couldn't you see a great movie? Say, kid, why don't you come over, you know? Oh, hey, be your protege.
I'm driving up to San Francisco. You want to come? No, thanks.
I'll split the gas with you. Sorry, you're too fat, Artie.
He had a weird card, Fatty Arbuckle. Hey, isn't that so-and-so? Oh, he's no, he's low class.
Right. They really don't know him yet. He's sort of like a rising star. Look at her face.
He's eating like he's a poor vaudevillian child.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's how he came up. Now, this woman here, she was the queen of Technicolor because she photographed so well in it.
She's terrific in this movie.
Yes.
I mean, and glamorous. I mean, I can't copy that look.
Now, she was super glamorous and really big in the 40s and 50s. And she got married 6 times.
All right. Yeah, I put Buster.
And she only had 1 kid out of 6 guys.
Buster had a couple kids, right?
Buster had 2 kids. I don't know everything in the world about Buster. I've seen
no worries. It's a big step because when you have a Hollywood hagiography where they embellish and they combine and follows a formula.
And I can do the same thing.
Yeah. And it also is a celebration of itself. It's Hollywood. So it's a Hollywood movie about Hollywood. So I understand the trap and the allure, but
Buster Keaton had 6 toes on 1 foot. He had 6 toes. Yeah, I made that.
Didn't need to know that.
I made that up.
Oh, all right.
So Buster Keaton would wipe. When he would wipe, he would go back to front.
Look at this. He got a private table, Carl. He knows he's not going into another restaurant and make them laugh at him.
Right. What he's hiding because he doesn't. No,
he's got a fork.
He's taking her to a place that he knows really well. It's a place he drinks at, and so they know him there. And he gave him a couple extra bucks to. It's like he had a failed date with Peggy, so now he went and got Gloria and said, "All right, come on, all right, I'll take you out."
Yeah, come on, I don't go. Let's get some real pork chops. Fuck this.
That's
2
right.
vaudevillian flophouse pork chops.
Right away, Mr. Keaton.
Listen, I want to meet the matron who's going to be cooking these pork chops, because if she isn't from the orphanage down the vaudevillian orphanage down the street, I ain't eating them.
Now, that Peggy, right? Her 6 husbands. I think she just was young, because she's got the first one 2 years, the second one 2 years, the third one 2 years. I mean, that sounds like having a girlfriend. You know what I mean? Right. And then the next one, 6 full years, and then 24 years and 14 years. And those 2 guys died.
What a great life.
Well, I'm saying, like, I think she was just young, and instead of having a boyfriend, she'd get married.
Well, no sex before marriage. I don't know her personally. I don't know the story. I just happened to say that out loud.
With her having only 1 child, it might have been no sex after marriage, too.
Right. So you writing that down?
I'm going to do that at the open mic.
Not about her, but how about this? I'll do this at the open mic. They say no sex before marriage, but let me tell you something. No sex after marriage.
That's the punch. I could do it. I could figure it out. I'd have to enhance it.
You also have to be, it's got to be like that. The angry guy. I'm so sexually frustrated.
No sex before marriage and no sex after marriage.
People will probably see it parading down Broadway when you say, and no sex. So you have to change the last words. After marriage, it would be...
Just go no sex.
No sex after... I mean, you could go I don't know. All right, I'm sorry, Carl. I'm trying to workshop. I don't want to sound like a misogynist when I do like jokes like this, but it's really hard not to sound like it. Oh, a fancy pork chop for you. Here you go, Buster. Pork chop special. Mama says hello.
We just killed this pig out back.
Out back. It's a squirrel. You know the score.
Now, Buster Keaton was the technical advisor to this film, but that doesn't mean he helped write the story at all. And he was a little bit oblivious to it. He was just there the days they were doing filming.
So
and
this scene right here.
Right. This is called The Criminal. And Buster Keaton, in real life, in this movie right now, will be one of the cops. Like, one of the cops got sick and he was on set. He goes, "I'll do it."
Oh, wow.
It's very hard for me to tell. Once again, Donald O'Connor does his job, okay? And he does reenact and everything, and the jerky herky, and he does the stunts like this. Like, you see how we went, "Oh, shucks," like that. Buster would have done that. You would have believed it, Right. You don't believe it from him, but he does his job.
Did you ever see Chaplin with Robert Downey Jr.? Is this...
No.
I saw it, but I don't recall it. I think I was more surprised.
He puts his jacket on with the pole, and I think it's funny, but it's just, I just know that the Buster Keaton one, I never saw this one.
Do you think it's a good job? I think it's a good job of him reenacting, because it's respectful to the man's art. Now
look how he gets hurt here. I don't think it's a stunt, man.
Oh, you think it's him?
I don't know.
That's a pretty stupid stunt.
Maybe I'm wrong. Okay.
Oh, Keystone
One
Cops.
of these guys, Buster Keaton. Now try to help me find which one.
There, are you my daddy? I mean, Buster Keaton.
Now this is really weird. He's going to jump into that woman's stomach. Watch this. This is so bizarre.
Was it ever done?
This film. You did see this film.
I listened to this film while doing making dinner.
Boom! Disappeared.
Yeah. Look, nothing behind that wall either.
Also, I think that's a dude. It's just funny. Okay, here comes a Buster Keaton. I don't know. One of these. Now, I have a suspicion about which one at the very ending of this segment. See how good that was?
But is it necessary for us to watch this in a movie house? A reenactment of his greatest hits?
No, I do not think so.
Hey, did you ever see the Chuck Barris Gong Show biopic?
Yes.
The one George Clooney directed?
I didn't know that. I know the actor, and you know his.
Yes, Sam Rockwell.
Look for Keaton. Okay.
Not him. Not him.
One scene, and I think Keaton is the officer all the way to the right on screen. I'll tell you when we get there.
Sure. Well, I'll talk about Chuck Barris and the Confessions of a Dangerous Mind.
It was good.
Yeah. It was based on his biography where he said he was a spy. And I think it was because he wanted to add some, and he played it straight. And they played it straight in the movie. And it was good, and it gave a little depth instead of just reenacting it. There's a certain angle that was based on him. His own film.
Okay, now wait. Here's the scene. You help me now.
All right.
On screen, the rightmost cop. I think that, okay. You see on the right there, the darker curtain?
Yes.
Look there. I think it's Buster Keaton.
Right there? Yeah, there he is. You can tell by his face. Yeah, look at him. This posture.
But it's still a question mark. He's the one that's most Keaton-esque.
Life is too short. I'm going to say it's him.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, he got the banana after all.
It's his mini banana. Thank you, real Mr. Keaton. No, thank you, Donald.
We are talking over. I listened to this while doing dishes, so I know the music that they play is worse than anything I've heard on Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes had at least a sense of humor to it, little subtle nods in here and there. But this is like full on rips of song. If you're tired, the go to sleep music plays, and da 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 when he wakes up, Greenlands or whatever.
Happy Days Are Here Again kind of songs when it's good times.
The whole orchestra plays. Which I don't get. It's a silent movie. So if he made it, it wouldn't have a soundtrack to it.
Now we're getting a fake story about the parents. That the parents, he tried to offer them a summer home in Michigan. I don't know. Listen,
one of those new fancy.
If you want to know the Buster Keaton story, don't watch this film. Watch a documentary. If you want to watch this film, go ahead. But just think it's the man who, the rise and fall of the Hollywood star movie, because this is not Buster Keaton's life.
Doesn't it kind of feel that way because he is a silent movie star, megastar, and now as the years go by, Al Jolson. Wait, did we get to the part where I did see the scene where the Variety says Al Jolson says his next film will talk?
Right, you see that, and then you see a marquee with Al Jolson all talking. Now, the film wasn't all talking, and they never advertised it that way. It was just another thing for this film's plot. This film claims that the talkies killed Keaton's career.
But this could be any Hollywood icon, any Hollywood silent movie star. Yeah.
That's what this movie is, the Hollywood rise and fall guy. But in real life, he signed a contract in which he was now a member of the studio system, and he didn't have any creative control. He couldn't make up things on the fly. He lost. They said, "This is the next movie you're doing, Buster." He would be under other directors. That's the real story. And this is weird because he goes and he gets Gloria as if he loves her or something, like, "Come on, girlie." And then he brings her to this house to say, "This is the house I'm going to try to marry Peggy for. Peggy and I will live here."
Now, this is his own estate, right? Like, this is what he bought.
Well, he just bought it today. It's him being crazy.
You can tell he bought it today because MTV Cribs is waiting to film him. Come on in, welcome. Hey, I just moved in. So there's only a couple bottles of milk in the fridge.
Look how they built it on a train track, dummies.
Yeah. Well, Harold Lloyd, who of course I get mixed up, had his own estate, and it was called Green Acres, which I think it was sold eventually after his passing. But it was a fancy smancy, and he would have publicity, holiday, they would all have their Christmas photos from their house, this lavish house.
Right. Very nice.
And parties.
Like Fatty Arbuckle's party, right?
Well, that was in a hotel. It wasn't in his own house.
No, it wasn't. 40 gallons of booze.
Yeah.
If you believe.
You got some jazz music in the background.
Well, right now we got go ahead, play it. Right now
yes,
we got that happy chipper music, like everything's going my way.
Sorry, I've been so gregarious this episode. He just played 4 notes. Do. 5 notes. 6.
No, I can't
6.
play a note.
Happy music.
Possible.
It does. It's like the I'm just being in dreamland from this music.
Now he's going to drop the bomb on her that he's going to try to ask Peggy to marry him. So let's see if the music changes.
Yeah. Da-da. You could have been number 7.
It's scary emotions.
Scary. But love will.
You're gonna ask Peggy to marry you?
Huh? So the music just saturates this movie.
A lone violin wailing against a backdrop of clarinets.
Let's have a drink.
Now there's Oscar Goldman of $6 Million Man.
Yes. Still looking the same.
Yes.
Even though it's the 50s.
Even though, well, no, he looks older in the 70s. He does. He's got these glasses on. He was the Shell answer man. That was his corporate thing all his life. He was born in New Jersey. Take that, bitches.
Oh, shit.
How do you like me now? We got Oscar Goldman.
Yeah, it would. You know, you were making fun of New Jersey, but did you know the Shell answer man is from New Jersey?
Yes, he is.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I'm really sorry. I take back my comment about your trash.
Now, Gloria is totally in love with Buster Keaton, and Buster Keaton's like, I'm marrying Peggy. Isn't that
But
great?
she was not even. Was she really in love with him? I guess we just saw her.
Yes, look at her face.
Well, wait, listen to the music.
Yeah, because it's goodbye.
The studio is shipping her off to Europe.
Well, okay. She goes and says, I quit. And she goes, hey, why are you quitting? He goes, like, I don't know how he finds out. You know, he just knows it's about, he goes, I don't have much experience with the heart, Gloria, but if you want to talk, I will listen. She goes, I'm going to Europe. I need a change. And he goes, if you're going to Europe, go for the studio. Bring back the next Valentino. So she's not fired. Now look, Peggy shows up with the Duke of blah, blah, blah.
Hiya, Duke, says the closed captioning.
Is it Bulgaria? Bulgarian caviar. Goes, thanks for bringing my girl to the party, and rushes off with her.
What? Hey, goes, do not pass go, he says. Do not collect $200.
I am going to marry, the Monopoly dude. Did he have a monocle?
No, nor did he have a mustache, but he had a top hat, so I had to say something.
Because we saw Gabo with the monocle, and then we saw another one after. We saw Keaton with the monocle.
Yeah, Keaton. Well, he didn't have the monocle.
Biacle.
He had his full-on glasses without the little ear things.
So it would be on the bridge of his nose, and he'd squeeze an eye. He'd squint.
Right. It would balance on the tip of his nose, on the crown of his nose, and it was balanced by 2 pieces of felt that was off the side of it.
Yeah, that would hang down all the time. Now, that was 1929, and that's just it was a real thing you might see a guy with, that's so weird. But I'm sure, like, if they saw, they went into the future and Flava Flav has got the stopwatch and, I don't know, we've got the phone with ear pods or something.
There's some plenty of silliness. I mean, he is a duke, and you should always address a duke. So Hiya, Duke.
Hiya, Duke. And she's a fuckus.
She's
how do you say it? How do you pronounce it?
Duchess.
Fuck
Duke and Duchess.
But she fucks the Duke, right?
Oh, so she's a fuckus?
She's
fuckus of York?
Yes.
Is that what you're trying to say?
She's a fuckus.
I never heard that one. New
Keaton what's the headline?
That's half the headline. It says, is not a laugh riot, but they cut that part. Oh, he scores coke again in new action comedy.
It wasn't a drinking problem.
Oh, no. The photo turned into the scene. Okay,
now, this let's crank up the music. Funny, just because you get a surprise.
He doesn't drown.
You didn't.
Oh, right. There you go.
There you go. You probably just heard the whop, 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 whop sound.
Wow. Yeah, right. You hear the laughing music. Again, Bugs Bunny isn't this heavy-handed.
You see the headline said the general?
Oh, right, but there's no general scene. There's a Nanook of the North. Oh, Carl, good news. Nanook of the North is on Plex, a free streaming service. Yes, the historically inaccurate. Wait, oh shit, what's going on? I'm buffering,
He's
Carl.
ice fishing. This is called the Frozen Ward.
I'm buffering here.
Oh, sorry about that. Now, Buster Keaton is on set right this moment telling him how to do it and everything. Okay, so I'll let you know what time I'm at once you get better.
Yeah.
But for the audience, I'm just going. I'm not pausing or something.
No, I agree. Keep going.
Buster Keaton in college, another movie. Now we're going to get it again. We're just going to see him reenact one of his movies. And I just like that the real life Buster Keaton was on set advising them.
Yeah, well, I mean, those movies were classic. College is great. And so I'm glad that he gets to at least, you know, I mean, he's getting money off it too. All right, just tell me what number you are and I'll catch up real fast.
He added his own new jokes too. Okay, it's 43 minutes and 17, 18,
okay.
19.
I'm there.
Okay.
Well, I'm buffering, but I'll catch up.
Wait, you just said you were there. And
right,
now
because it was playing.
Buffering. So
well, I did. All right, let me try. I'm going to do it. Okay, all right, here we go.
What's your minutes?
I'm doing it again. I don't know. It's a black screen. It's not popping up for me.
Fuck.
I'm doing it again.
He's flipping. He's at an ice cream. He's got like a soda jerk thing and an ice cream shake thing. And it's day one on the job for him. So he's.
Carl, I'm switching systems.
Pantomime fuck ups.
All right. I'm switching from PlayStation to YouTube on the streaming service.
I got to tell you, Mutiny Radio's got a budget, man. It really has great equipment.
It has an oven. By the way, station manager Pam Benjamin really pissed off that I baked something in the studio that had 0 milligrams THC. What are you? Is it 30, 60? Is it 100? I'm like 0. She's like, what?
One time in Mutiny Radio, I made fish in the microwave. Oh, Pam was pissed.
She was pissed. She was complaining about that.
3 days of fish smell.
I said, Pam, I know, I get it. It was like fish smell everywhere. It was like 2 years ago. Still talks about it. You cooking fish, that was a classic.
Laurel, did you burn popcorn? Damn it!
She bakes fantastic. She's a great chef. Food, but and you know, non-medicinal food too, like regular edible human food. Just a great baker, and she has barbecues. Jam Benjamin. All right, keep going, Carl. I'm going to catch up with you, my friend.
Should I tell you what time I'm at, or it's not time
yet? Just let the audience know what's going on, and I'll catch up to you once I can.
Okay, another headline about a smash hit, Keaton's smash hit. Now he's going to go in and start talking money. And he's like, I want half the profits. And they're like, the fuck, man? Are you fucking crazy? He goes, other people get half the profits. He goes, yeah, because they put in half the money. And he goes, okay, I'll mortgage my house and I'll put in half the money. And he goes, all right, we'll do half the profits. And then they get out like a yellow legal pad and write down some legal bullshit.
They write profit.
That guy Tom's the lawyer guy.
That's how business works. All right, where are you, Carl?
Jersey. It's 45 minutes and 54, 55, 56, 57, 8. Now I'm coming up on 46 minutes.
I'm with you. I'm right with you. He'll mortgage the Taj Mahal.
What?
Is it a state called Taj Mahal?
No, you're not with me.
I am with you. They're shaking hands.
Yes.
Right. I'm back in the game. YouTube can't cover me, can't suppress me. They can't step on me. Listen, this guy acknowledges.
Goldman's now writing down an official legal document.
The yellow paper. Official legal document. Take Buster's money. There we go. This is the scene I saw.
Talkie. Oh no, the end is near. It's
Jolson to make talkie. Is it? That's the classic variety. See, at least this one uses the lingo picks. You know what I mean? Like it's usually like, yeah, he wows with talkie. It's like, I don't know. It seems like a very bland variety headline. Not up to their usual puns.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it wasn't the New York Post.
Well, New York Post got it from them, right? Because they would say pick sinks.
Yes, they did get it from them.
Yeah.
Okay. So Gloria's back from Europe, and she's like, "Thanks for the cure. I could give a shit about that Buster Keaton.
Right.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna marry Tom." Or
Maybe
that
Duke Tom.
What's that?
Duke Tom, right?
No, that's Peggy, Miss Glamorous. This is Gloria, the love interest of both Tom and
the
Buster
casting director.
Exactly, Mr. Casting Director. Careful, I'm breakable.
Francis, it's great to see. I mean, Peggy, it's great to see you. Sorry, I thought you were Francis for a second. Gloria. Sorry. So,
sorry. What a boyfriend. Oh, Gloria. Sorry. What a great
What a boyfriend. Did you just mistake me for Francis the Talking Mule?
So now she announces she's going to marry Tom. And Buster Keaton is a little hurt by that, but not terribly. And so he's like, come on out and see the movie we're releasing and our big releases tonight. And then we'll go down the town. Look,
bring Tom, right? Yeah, that's marbles. Oh, I say that all the time.
Marvelous.
No, that's total marble.
It's not marbles. Oh, that's great. That's marbles.
That's marbles. Marvelous. Oh, Marble Top.
Marble Top.
Oh, this must be mustard top.
Marble.
Miss Marble Top.
Out of clay.
Oh, the dreidel song, kicking out. Oh, let's hear some music. Speaking of dreidel song. Oh, this is where they drive around the theaters, right?
Okay.
So here it is.
Now, they're going to pass the top.
Sensation.
He's going to think it's him and go, what a crowd.
No, but he doesn't say just a crowd. He says they're waiting for that new pantomime. That pantomime audience is huge.
Yeah, that's right.
All talking picture, which is not true, Carl, right?
No, it was not true. It was Mammy. That was the talkie part.
Right. Again, as you were saying, movies have evolved, but don't forget we evolved. The technology of talking films started with Mammy. So,
yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Okay, you're saying that because of blackface, and of course that is the big trigger. That is the big trigger.
I'm Jewish too, so don't get me wrong. It's a story about a rabbi's son who decides not to be a cantor, and he decides to do minstrel shows.
So the thing is, on its own, without any politics around it, right. I see that and think of it as horrific, because what it means is they thought all black people were of a dumbness, of a certain way, of a stupid,
and people would pay to see that.
And they were
it was in business.
No, but I'm saying, like, it shows that the zeitgeist of the time was incorrectly thinking about a whole group of people as wrongly. Okay, without all the politics, it sucks. You don't need the extra, you're canceled, and I don't know, all that extra stuff.
I know. I mean,
it's not needed. It's horrible on its own. So anyway, he's running out of money. So he's like, the cook is quitting. And he goes, why? She doesn't like the food? Ha, ha, ha. And so the butler's, he goes, I'll sell a painting and pay
he is. Look, he's so out of sorts, he doesn't even have a coffee table.
Yeah, that's right. Because he doesn't have coffee. It's a booze table.
Oh, right. So,
is the organ gone too?
Oh, I never played a note. And I guess I'll never play a note.
I never played a 7 notes.
He heard the Repo Men. They tried to sneak out last night with the organ.
Yeah.
You wake up, Buster.
Stay there. Who goes?
It was Stan and Ollie who took the organ away. They went down the staircase. They went up the staircase with the piano. It was hysterical. Oh. What do you mean put in a dime?
Ring, 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 ring.
Like he's so broke, the operator says, please insert 10 cents.
The payphone has not been invented yet, darling.
I'm coming right over.
So he's like, okay. He calls up Larry and he's like, all right, I'll do it. And now Peter Lorre, the guy who dumped water on him, hates him. You know, even though he was a huge star, it doesn't matter. He's fallen to the ground now. He's doing a part in a talkie.
This is like Wired. It's not a real person, right? It's in the Hollywood tradition about Hollywood movies biographies. Is he a real director or is he like a made up director?
He's a made up director.
Yeah.
Cecil B. DeMille was a real director.
And he got his cameo in.
Yeah, that's all it was, a cameo. He goes, "This, Mr. Mike Keaton, is the microphone." He's got his cigarette.
That's your Peter Lorre?
Yeah. "You silent people have such trouble with the microphone."
Oh, Gil brought. I can't do it. I love his voice. Here, let me. Now that I got back in this game.
Come from here. You stop at the mark and then you turn right. Okay? I start with a speech. Good morning, everybody. And then Henry says,
We've cut that.
Kept spinning all night. You're cutting it out. Use Viola's first speech to bridge you into one about your mother-in-law traveling and eliminate all of the middle section. Okay? This is going to be a take.
Okay, it's going to be a thing. You're right. He definitely downplays it.
And Roland, see, I'm going to ask you to turn it up again when he talks about the microphone, because he'll go back to it over and over.
That was bad for you. She said it addles the brain.
Does that sound like this? Does he have a deadpan?
He does have that wilting voice he really did have in the silence.
No,
and the
it sounds
talkies.
like him in Singing in the Rain. It sounds like him in the movie we saw.
Hang on.
Such a time remembering the microphone, huh? Well, shall we start it again?
He keeps rubbing that in him. Look, he takes
his hat away, his signature hat away.
Yeah, his signature hat.
Throws it on the ground. Ah, the humanity.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen,
The
the
humility.
for Keaton's career. Oh, the humanity. Oh, that was New Jersey. New Jersey made the Hindenburg crash, bitches. We
That's
got the
right.
Hindenburg, bitches.
It was Carl from Aquatine.
Fucked it up. We got War of the Worlds, bitches. That's right. Jersey was invaded first. The Martians were like, "Where are we going to go?" Jersey, bitches.
Jersey.
Rehabilitated. So he has a hard time saying this one word, and he'll fucking drink because of it, and then after freak out because of it.
Is he gonna drink on set? It's so hard to watch him do this. Oh, it's cathartic. It's cringeworthy.
It's cringeworthy, yeah. If it was acted a little better, though.
Well, you're right. Donald O'Connor is doing an actor job.
Yeah,
he's he's as professional as you could get. It's just not. It's not necessarily like his acting is bad, but the idea to do a film like this is bad. He's just the professional they got in to do it.
Yeah. Now, after this film, he was no longer a leading man in anything ever again. He would be supporting roles from this point forward.
Well, we watched one of his 6 films he did with Francis the Talking Mule. We watched Francis Joins the Wax, the Women's Auxiliary corporate. No, wait.
Right before we met your mommy,
LWLFM.
OIT. He goes, "Okay, reload." So Buster Keaton goes, "All right, I'm going to reload." Gulp, 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 gulp.
Oh, he is drinking on the job.
Yep.
He's going Eric Bogosian and Larry Sanders.
Imagine that. You could buy your liquor and it had a pop cork like a wine cork.
Sure. I'm sure you could just refill it there.
Gulp,
or no, you throw it over. Buster, no drinking on the job.
Yeah, he goes, "You're up next, Mr. Keaton."
I loved you in Beetlejuice.
That's right. Michael Keaton, Buster Keaton.
You heard my 3 Keaton joke up front, right? It was Michael, Diane, and Buster.
Now, who's Diane Keaton? Should I know that actress?
Yeah, Annie Hall.
Annie Hall was
with
I guess Keaton.
What? Palms.
Diane Keaton, who was, of course. She always wears the turtlenecks, and she's like
Yeah, they always
in ex-wives movies.
Didn't you see Palms? She was in New York City. It was a movie shot in Georgia, and she was old and lived in New York City. So she had a New York City. It started off with New York City. You know exactly the shots I'm talking about, right?
Right.
And she lives in like Greenwich Village, so you know the scene. And then she goes to Georgia to a retirement home.
Okay.
And then it's all like Georgia. And that's where the industry is anyway. But she joins the pom pom squad, and she enjoys her life again.
Is that for like football? What's the pom pom squad?
You know, like a cheerleading competition.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're old. That's the gag. They're retirement home cheerleaders.
That's good. Is it something I should see?
No, not at all. I just I stopped at a certain point. I thought it was fine. I mean, everyone's professional, and God bless. You know, the Georgia film industry must be a beast. You got to keep feeding it productions.
Yeah. Well, made in Georgia. That's like a new thing. It's like they're like fudged with the tax rules. It's like, if we go to Georgia, we can make money on this film.
I have to say, there's a film called Vacation Friends. I guess it's on Hulu. It's an original movie. It's really funny, and the half of it, they're in Georgia, and they go to every single Waffle House in Athens looking for them.
You mean
and
the actual
the actual Waffle Houses.
Have you been in there?
I've been to a Waffle House in my lifetime. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good experience.
Okay, so now they're about to get married, and Gloria finds out Buster Keaton is in jail because he was at a speakeasy and had a big fucking fight. He didn't even know his name or where he was. He got locked up. So now Oscar Goldman is like, I'll send someone to pick him up. And he goes, no, he goes, I don't want you to get involved. And she goes, I am involved. I'm involved.
I'll do.
What the fuck?
Austin Goldman from $6 Million Van.
Yeah.
It's my responsibility. I'll go. We could they could rebuild him.
Look with your eye. Doink, 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 doink. Doink, 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 doink.
They're in the other room. Thanks, Steve. We'll take $5 off credit for that one. So how much do I still owe the government?
She goes and gets Buster. Now, it's the morning, and what we're going to find out is last night, Buster Keaton married Gloria the night she was supposed to marry Tom.
What?
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't hear this part.
What's that?
I must have not heard that part when I was doing dishes because...
Yeah, I don't know if... I mean, this is 20 hours. This is 91 minutes. That's a lot of dishes, dude.
Well, I was preparing, I got to clean up the Mutiny Radio kitchen for the next person.
I know Pam gets so furious. You got to clean up after yourself, or
she's a perfectionist when it comes to the kitchen. You got to keep it clean so you can bake.
She ran in. She said, "Carl." I can't do her voice. Carl.
That sounds like Pam.
I said, do this, Pam. I'm cleaning up now.
Do Pam as Peter Lorre. Carl.
The microphone.
The kitchen is all dirty. Do you know this is called a kitchen, and the kitchen is very dirty.
Some dude named Carl's up next.
Here, let this sink in. Clean the sink. Okay, so he's like reenacting, like he's discovered, and then I did this, huh?
No. She's doing it. I don't remember that. She's saying, she goes, "Why aren't you supposed to marry? I did get married. Why aren't you with your husband? I am with my husband." And then he goes, "I need a drink."
Oh no. It's so simple, life.
He goes, "I have a cut here. There must have been a fight. The cop said there was. I don't remember that."
This is where they should do The Hangover Part 1, where he goes through Las Vegas to kind of discover what his last night was.
He goes, "I'll get a drink," and she goes, "I'll get it," and she gets the coffee, and he's like, that's not what I meant.
Glug, 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 glug. Clank, swig, slurp.
There it is. That's it. With that first gulp, you're like, the day has started.
Now I could talk.
Now, yeah, right. Don't talk to me until I've had my coffee and Kahlua.
And Kahlua. Yeah, there's the egg Kahlua.
One time, the family went to Florida, and I was alone, and I had like a week, and so I drank like I would do my job, and the day would be over, and then I would go to some open mic or something. I would drink to excess, just like one drink too much. I'm not a crazy person, but like my family's gone. After 3 days of it, I didn't like how I felt. I felt weak. There was something like, it wasn't a hangover because it was always vodka, but I mean, I started feeling physically like my muscles were achy. I could never be an alcoholic. I couldn't handle it.
Lucky you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, did you drink alone?
No, I would like go to open mics or something,
Gotcha.
or I'd be with Anthony Quinn or something. I think I'm going back before his time though. I don't remember. They were gone for a week and I was like, license to ill. And then after 3 days, I was like, you know what? I don't need to exercise my right to party, right?
Totally. Well, good. Thanks for being so candid. And also, it's good mic form not to be wasted.
Well, I mean, I stayed sober for like 2 days or 3 days or something. And then, I just had a regular night, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. So now they're married and it's like, so where's Buster? Oh, he went out to get the newspaper. When will he be back soon? I don't know. That was 3 days ago. Really? So now she's overhearing him coming home. Good night, Buster. Hiccup. A car pulls off. Now we have a weird scene in which he's going to like try to pick a fight. Like he's bored. He's got nothing to do.
She's working, right?
She's paying their bills.
She's signing checks right now with a quill.
Yeah, go ahead. Listen.
All right.
And by the end of the scene, she's talked him into calling up Larry to get a bit part in one of the movies.
Snap.
I have some money left. Who needs your money? What are you trying to do? Make me feel like
she has some European travel money.
Right. That's right. I'm going to the track. She's like, fine. He's like, is everything I say fine? She goes, you can't pick a fight with me. I'm not fighting.
There's some wonderful plays on the third show.
Plays are for talking actors.
No, really? Plays are for talking actors. Pantomime.
Yeah. Are there any pantomime plays? All stage description?
I'm a palindrome actor.
Palindrome.
Any plays that begin and end with Madam, Madam.
There's some cue cards on the top shelf. What are they? Not cue cards. Do you call them placards?
Oh, placards.
Placards. Why do you keep saying that? Placards.
Well, placards. Because I don't know how to pronounce it. I never heard it out loud.
What? You ever get on a plane?
I get on a plane, yes.
Well,
where do I see a placard on a plane?
Do not tamper with the smoking signs and placards.
Those are the non-smoking signs.
All right, never mind.
You don't need to name them. They already have a name. They're the no smoking sign.
Why do you go?
Do you want to go to the track with me? I don't go to the track. I don't like it much either. Then why do you go? Well, the afternoons get pretty long.
Listen, it's a sure thing. The horse is called a sure thing.
Oh, no, I got a sure thing. It says right here in the program.
Yeah, this is back when newspapers, they spin the headlines. You can tell the story of the newspaper. They don't have to turn on a TV set when they go home and the NY1, New York City 1 is on. Aching news, a meteor is heading towards the Earth. With this just in, a grocery store was robbed and private detective so-and-so was shot.
I can't let you go on paying the bills. I can't pay them myself. I can't sell this house for as much as I mortgaged it for. I've got to do something, and I don't know what. So she's like, why don't you call Larry?
Hello, Larry.
Fucking grovel for a little part. They're doing a film called Soldiers.
Carl, you know the sitcom Hello, Larry.
Sounds familiar. Is it a Three's company.
It was a
spin-off?
spin-off
That's
of.
destined to
It was
fail.
a backdoor pilot spin-off from Different Strokes, and it starred recently departed Matt Starr, McLean Stevens, and he played a morning DJ. No, he was like a Frasier of his time, and he had like a talk show. No, he had like maybe a morning show, and the show was called Hello Larry, and people would call him. They would say, "Hello, Larry." And he was, he was a dad, a single dad. He had 2 teenage kids, daughters. I don't know. Maybe they weren't teenage.
I don't know this. This was 70s, 80s?
It was like 81, maybe 70s. It was that time period, that Twilight, when Different Strokes was on.
Yeah, it's weird how like the 70s ended and the 80s started. Now Reagan did make it a distinct cut.
Yeah.
Like all the hippie stuff was dead by 76. So it's sort of like the 80s started a little early, but not really, because you still had disco and all that bullshit.
Well, you can see in the fashion and just the way clothes looked and just the way things were directed, that there was a transition.
One time I saw footage of when Reagan got shot. And it was like 81, right? Yeah. And all the crowds and the news reports, you see all the styles. It was that weird 1 foot in the 70s, 1 foot in the 80s, but they were making it up as they went along.
I do remember that him getting shot. I do remember seeing it. It was outside his car, right?
Yeah. Getting into the limo.
Right.
And that's when they kept him going in.
Well, they shot that. God, I forgot the guy's name.
Yeah, because Reagan didn't die. It's the one who fell in love with Jodie Foster. It's
he's up for parole. Okay. He was up for parole.
I say let him out. It's so long ago. That's all right.
Well, let's get back to Buster Keaton's story.
No, Hinckley.
No, let's talk about Hinckley. Hinckley was dead?
Lennon.
Oh, Hinckley was Lennon. Yeah, right.
What's
Chapman?
Chapman, Mark.
Yeah.
Okay, then it was Hinckley. It was John.
You have to say 3 names when they're killers.
No, but the thing is, Reagan.
Are they going to the track?
Reagan didn't die. He wasn't an assassin.
He attempted assassination of the president of the United States. He should deserve.
All right, what's his middle name?
I'm trying to watch the Buster Keaton.
Oh, okay. So now he comes in and he's like, "Okay, I'll be the star in your new film, Soldiers." And they goes, "No, not the star, just a part." And he goes, "All right, well, I want at least 4 setups because I have no time for setups. It's 1 scene." And he goes, "What the fuck? Call general casting. I'm Buster Keaton, bitch."
All right, you want an extra? You call the extras department. Yeah. Here's your extra as a box set, season 1 and 2.
Now, on the wall is Buster Keaton in that movie called The Boat. And it might really be Buster Keaton. I'm not sure. We'll take a look at the painting. But I think this is a scene in which there's a flashback to it.
Oh, it goes into the camera, moves up to the picture.
Is that real Buster Keaton? Looks like it, right?
That's not the real boat, though.
No, once again, we're getting a reenactment, and what gets me excited about
music.
Like,
get ready, excitement.
Right behind us, behind our eyes, watching the boat, to our left or right, is Buster Keaton in the flesh, the real Buster Keaton. He was on set.
Sorry, I was so enthralled by that music. Yeah. Taylor song. Oh, blub, 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 blub,
it's the SS Minnow.
Ha 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 ha.
So he's obviously going to sink.
And this is so crazy. He's still the do.
I guess that's the Pacific.
I would probably be the worst silent movie audience member. I would tell the organ, like, "Can you stop playing like that? You're annoying me."
Yourself. Let's just watch it.
Hi. Hey,
Mike, I gotta tell you, when I saw The General, that's what I did. I muted
You turned it off?
Yeah. And every now and again, I would take off the mute, and I would hear blinking a blink, a blink, a blink, and I'd say, "Yeah, that's right. That's why I'm muting it."
Yeah. Well, honestly, to be in a house full of everybody and have an organ play like the Castro used to be, like, it's fun. It's great.
One time I saw this movie. It was a silent movie. I was at summer camp, and the guy was just fucking around on the piano, and they said, please mute the, turn off the sound of the movie and let's let him do it. It was pretty fun.
That's cool.
He was doing it in that style, so I guess if you hear it in person, it's different than.
Yeah, because it must be a craft in it of itself to be able to sit down at an organ and just improvise, or maybe have some sheet music beforehand, or like see it a little, be a little prepared. But still,
Yeah, he caught the ball.
Yeah.
Did you miss it? How did he catch it?
It fell into his hands.
No, his hat. He caught it with his hat. And they're like, "Hey, you're Buster Keaton." Now, the real Buster Keaton had a love of baseball, and he had friends who he talked baseball with. And when they did the General, they would take breaks and do baseball games all the time.
But he never went to the track, right? Or he went to the track?
Nah, it was just conversation. He never went to the track. So one way in which the film of Buster Keaton, if they really had done it, would have profited, and we would have learned all about his love of baseball.
And that he got locked into a trunk when he was a kid. A tornado.
Yeah. And a tornado lifted him into the sky.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's lots in the real Buster Keaton story.
You can make this movie now in 2022, 3, like, I don't want to give away.
Who's the guy who played in the Queen movie?
Oh, Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot, right? Isn't he Mr. Robot from USA Network?
You know the actor I'm talking about? I don't know Mr. Robot. You know the actor I'm talking about?
Yeah.
If he did a stone face, if he did some like learning about Buster Keaton and action, I think he might nail it.
And it would make up for that Bond movie he did.
And I could definitely be Fatty Arbuckle, because if they want me to put on a few pounds for the part, I think
problem. You guys would be great.
I've been there. No, but like there's got to be some chubby today guy, a young Jack Black. So all we're getting here is Buster's got nothing to do all day, so he plays with kids and he makes them laugh.
Let's hear some music. Oh, and there's sweet and laugh track in this, right?
Sweet what?
It's
kids.
But they put the fake kids' laughter in there. Like,
you think it's fake? Probably. It's a sound. It's a movie. Safe.
Well, the sound is definitely like they did a really good job on over sweetening the sound on purpose.
Okay, so now he's going to run outside of the baseline, which everybody knows means he's out. But it's a movie.
See, look, ha 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 ha.
You're right. You're right. They did that in the sound stage and put it in.
Oh, polishing our big giant lamp. Oh, thank God! I was almost done. It took me 6 hours to polish that lamp.
So as you know, Buster said, if you. Yeah, I'm interrupting you, but okay. As you know, he said, fuck you and your Benny part, right? And he comes in and has a great time playing baseball, comes in the door and she's like, you look happy. You got the part.
Oh, right. But he told him, fuck you in the beginning.
Right. So he doesn't get the part. So tomorrow morning, here it is, 7 a.m. Time to go to the studio. He'll be like, he'll just wander around town.
So they had a single bed, but she was never slept in it.
I don't know. This is a fake movie. I don't know what happened in.
No, but I'm saying like in the 50s, you had to have 2 separate beds when you were married. Like I Love Lucy.
I don't.
There was a Hays Code that started. Remember when
TV
your father
is different than a movie, and this is 57. I don't know. Okay, now he will trick Elmer Hayes from Kansas. I think it's Elmira, New York. He will trick him into getting. Say, I forgot my wallet. Can you give me $10? I'll mail you it.
He says, "Where do you think I am from? New Jersey?" I said, "I'm from New York, upstate."
Elmira, New York. Make it out to our daughter. So I thought this guy was Jackie Coogan, who was Uncle Fester. We really didn't get to see enough of Jackie Coogan.
Well, he's the famous kids actor that started a lot of laws in Hollywood and America.
That's right. He sued his parents in like the matter of like $4 million. And we're talking about back then money. They squandered it. And there's, let's see, the California Child Actors Bill, the Coogan Act came out of that. And it provoked California to enact the first known legal protection for the earnings of child performers. Coogan continued to act throughout his life, later earning renewed fame in middle age, portraying Uncle Fester in the 60s television series The Addams Family. So he's very brief in this film. He was the kid in Charlie Chaplin's movie.
That's right. Yeah. Which was remade with John Voight and Ricky Schroeder.
I guess. I don't know.
Oh.
Should I watch it?
No.
Okay. Okay, so who's been unceremoniously dropped at his front stoop? A drunk Buster Keaton off of $10 he ripped off of fans.
Oh, he just went and spent that $10?
Yeah, he got now $10 back then is about $80. So
didn't he hear the guy's from he's from Elmira. He probably had a bottle on him.
Yeah. Say, I forgot my liquor at home. Can you give me enough to drink to get home? So now Gloria will have the realization, no matter what I do, this guy's a drunk fuck. I got him this job, right? It's supposed to make him get back to being a star again. So now she's like, since I can't do anything if I stay, maybe something will happen if I leave him. This is all made up, folks. Completely made up.
We know that one of the things he did as a talkie was perform with Jimmy Durante. But I don't see Durante in this movie. They did three movies together.
Right. And there's plenty of story in the real life Buster Keaton story.
I go to Amazon Video Prime. Do you have that, Carl? Amazon Prime? Okay, good. All right, you're almost there. And then they have Little Abner from 1940. And I'm still watching like 3 minutes a day of that horrible movie. And he's in it. I don't see it in this film. 3 minutes a day.
Now, Mae Murray, his second wife, tried to sue this movie, going, you know, characters fictitious or real, you ripped me up. And they proved in court easily that ain't you, Mae. Right? This is like a fake wife.
Oh, they were able to get away with saying this is a fictitious story. Yeah.
So even they admit it. Sidney himself admits.
Oh, I wonder, where's she going? What's going on?
She just
literally packed her bags.
Yeah.
Why did I leave that? Dear Buster.
Off.
First off, thank you for purchasing this farewell journal. I knew it was crazy. I didn't know why you bought it months ago, but now this is really handy. Hi, we're the kids that had a great time with Mr. Keaton. Is he there?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Come out to play.
I'm sorry. You're writing the Dear John journal. We'll let you be. But first, oh, gosh. Can he come out and play? This is terrible.
That's right. And they're like, he's sick today, which means he's a drunk bitch.
He's hungover. Why did I buy a Dear John journal and leave it on the table outside the door?
I was just asking for it. Look at that dish for nothing there.
You put your keys in there when you come home. It's a key dish.
Well, they're home.
No, she doesn't need the key, right? She should leave it there.
So I guess this is on video. You saw that distortion, right? And you can see on the right of the screen the buzzing.
The audio.
Now this was never released to DVD. It was never seen on television. It just went away.
Weird.
Yeah, let me see. Where is it? Here it is.
It's a movie from the 50s. Why wouldn't they air it on TV ad nauseum?
Right. It's nice and cheap for them. As of 2018, this film has never been released on any home video format. No widescreen prints have ever been released to television. I don't know why they make it's called VistaVision. That's why, because it was. So anyway, we see it on YouTube, and that's like one of the only places it's available.
What is VistaVision? I saw that in the beginning.
It's like wide, left and right, like Lawrence of Arabia. You see they show you the regular screen and the wide screen. It took a special projector
for this, for him getting rejected.
This, yeah, I know they wasted it on this.
You should really see The Orphans in VistaVision, Carl. It's like.
So he goes, do something funny. And so he does. And then they say, do something funny again. And he like fucks up and hurts himself. But they go, ah, ha, ha, like he meant it and leave. So he's all bummed out. Here, hold this flower. Huh?
What?
Do something else funny, Buster. Well, something else funny? Okay. Boop. Whoa, whoa.
Well, dip.
Whoops.
Buster.
And they think, yeah, he was a real Buster. What a bummer. They thought it was funny. So now it's time for this fake movie to change his fake life. And he'll walk past the for sale sign of the castle.
A Shangri-La. For sale by Carl Halp Mortgages. Ha ha ha.
Mr.
Yes.
Keaton was here. What?
Diane Keaton let her in.
Send him in. Diane Keaton, how? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, fuck. I'm sorry. I thought you were your dad and your mom.
Michael Keaton. Oh, I'm sorry, Buster.
Sorry, Buster.
He goes, where's Gloria? I'm not telling you. Well, I just want to tell her goodbye and I love her. Bye. And he goes, all right, then I'll tell you.
Didn't he live in a trailer in the studio lot?
Yeah, we could have made a real Buster Keaton movie, and we didn't.
We blew it. We made this instead.
Once again, even though I'm mad at this director, you have to respect what he did in his career. This was just a fuck up, in my opinion. Sidney Sheldon. We wouldn't have I Dream of Jeannie if it wasn't for him. That was 5 years running.
I hear you, man.
Now, Heart to Heart, we could have lived without.
Oh, no. I got to have Heart to Heart. I can't live without Heart to Heart.
But it's also bizarre that after he was 50, he wrote 18 novels and he sold 300 million copies in 51 languages of romance suspense novels.
And he directed this film, an inaccurate portrait of Buster Keaton.
Yeah, this film was
uninteresting. You know, Carl, you recommended a documentary, and I mentioned this last week's show or a previous episode or a forthcoming episode or possibly a rescrubbed episode that James Karen, the voice of Pathmark for yes. And also from Hard Bodies 2, was a child in Sam Beckett's only directed film called Film, where Buster Keaton and James Karen as a kid walked through this landscape. And later in life, James Karen hosted a TCM documentary on the life of Buster Keaton, and he had a really good friendship with him. And it's a really good, accurate, and like a sad, one of the things you told me about the Jimmy Durante movie we saw with Buster Keaton is that he sold his gags to the Marx Brothers, and that's accounted for in the documentary. It's not in this movie.
Right. It's not in this movie. And think about what good plot that is. Like, you have to sell to the Marx Brothers. I don't know. I've said it too many times.
Do you think it's too? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I think they should have made the real Buster Keaton story because there's so much more juice there instead of this fake thing. Right now, he's like, I don't drink anymore, and that's okay. I'll divorce you and forget it. Goodbye. It's all fake. This never happened.
Do you think it's because it was too soon? Like Wired was 1989. It was just too soon because Lucy had died in 81. It's 57 here. Buster Keaton's still alive. He's doing beach movies, or he's about to do beach movies.
Oh, by the way, Peter Lorre at the end of his career did a lot of James Roger Corman stuff.
Yeah, actually, his last movie was Jerry Lewis's The Patsy, which he was great in.
Okay, so now Buster has said, look, I'm not drinking anymore and I don't care about fame anymore, and I'll be cool and you can have a divorce because I'm going back to vaudeville.
Which is dead according to this movie.
I've worked up a 10-pin act and they're going to give me a month's run. See how I do.
Don't you think this is remarkable that Donald O'Connor does this?
Well, he can juggle 3 pins, no problem, but he can't juggle more than that.
But he caught them all.
Yeah, the 3 pins, Oh, when the guy tossed him in? Yeah.
And this is just, whoa, here, I need music to tell me how I should feel.
Now, what's the surprise? Gloria shows up at his vaudeville thing.
Where's the dummy? I don't appreciate you saying
Here
that. You ruined the moment, dude.
So get on, you're on, get on. So
whoa, I had to go. I got to bring a sex doll. I mean,
Now she
oh,
Now she is like totally in his corner. So he goes, okay, I'm not using a dummy. I'm using you. Come out. You remember when I did it on New Year's Eve? She goes, yes, Buster, but I don't remember I've never been on a stage in my life. And then she comes out and nails it as if she absolutely has been on a stage in her life.
right. Killing it.
Now, this was a real thing, but it was a movie, not a vaudeville act. And also, look at this fake vaudeville set. Look how much money. You know this isn't vaudeville.
I think we need the music too. To go to sleep, when let it thunder. Uh-oh.
No, but the thing I'm saying is, like, a second ago, he was juggling pins on a stage.
Right.
If this was really vaudeville, we would have walls and furniture and everything.
It would have the advertisers wall. Yeah. I know, this looks like the Honeymooners set.
All we're seeing now is it was a big hit. Now, this was a real movie, and they're making it a vaudeville here. What is the movie?
Why would they? He never went back to vaudeville. He was always in a movie.
Oh, he did. He did in a literally do go and do some vaudeville.
Oh, he did. Oh, I take that back.
But this film implies like he quit films and now is back in vaudeville. That is not true. Excuse me.
I also know him from films after this, like Mad Men World and
right,
like Beach Blanket, Bingo, and some of the other surfer movies he did. He showed up. So it wasn't like he was persona non grata in 57 when this came out.
No, not at all. He was one of the reasons they made this was to sell it, and that was him. People fondly remembered talkies, silent films, right. And they didn't remember him for his talkies.
This is crazy live act. What a crazy live act to do, Carl. First time.
I find the list of real movies so I can tell you what is this movie. Sorry about that.
But you're absolutely right. This is her first time on stage, and he's like throwing her around.
Right, and she's getting big laughs and doing it perfectly. It's just not believable that she's never been on a stage before.
But thank God they built this set. Like, you're right. The bed.
I found it.
Yes.
This is probably it's probably called Spite Marriage. It's serious. Buster Keaton serves as technical advisor to this biopic. Although the filmmakers didn't use his input for the story, it's well known he had nothing to contribute to this movie, but he helped prove invaluable in recreating scenes from such films as The Frozen North, that was the ice fishing,
yes.
The Boat, Balloon Attic.
We saw a trailer for that. Yeah, there was a trailer for that.
The Goat, Sherlock Jr., Spite Marriage, and Cops. And I think this is Spite Marriage. Now, it didn't mention Steamboat Bill Jr., which was a big film for him, but it did mention the general in a headline. Right.
Well, that's what I guess with the boat, I thought it was maybe Steamboat Willie Jr.
Steamboat Willie, that was
Mickey Mouse, right?
Yeah.
He was in that? I didn't realize that. That's a great movie. People were like, remember when we were in the talkie audience watching talkies, and we were like, that mouse was whistling. We were like, oh shit! I never saw anything funnier.
Okay, now he comes out. He goes, "You are great. We should rename the act the Two Keatons." And she goes, "The Three Keatons." Because she's pregnant. But the thing is, like, Tom's the dad. Right? Because they've been away from each other for a while now.
Well, maybe they've been doing the act for 7.5 months now.
No, this is day one. He just got off the stage.
Oh my God.
We'll call it the Two Keatons. Make it the Three Keatons because I got knocked up. Look at that big smile. I mean, he's just not Buster Keaton.
Right. Yeah, right. It was Mr. Deadpan. Look at that smile. Yeah. What the hell? You're absolutely right. That's Mr. Deadpan, a smiling Donald O'Connor?
Yeah, with the twinkle in his eye.
Oh, my goodness. Well, Carl.
Mike, what did you think of this movie?
What did I think of this movie? Hodgepodge, but it was entertaining, but it was also just everything bad about a movie version of someone who's still current in pop culture. Yeah. You shouldn't do it. or if you do, you should have her do it crazy like the Chuck Barris movie. But
make it your own.
Yeah, that's his biography was like that, and they stuck to it. They could have done an angle on this that had the real Keaton in it, but all the great stories about Buster Keaton weren't in it. But I did like Donald O'Connor a lot in this. I think we underestimate what he had to do this film. I did read that he didn't like this film.
Oh,
I think it's even on the YouTube description that he disowned it. The Make It Laugh makes a point of it. But but he handled it in one of those things that just disappear from pop culture memory. But it's about pop culture, so.
Well, this wasn't just like remembering your lines. He had to do all the pratfalls and all the pantomime. He really had to prepare for.
Sure, and he was, if Buster Keaton really was a technical, like actually worked with him, he had to listen to Buster Keaton to represent him.
I see a lot of pictures on the internet that are stills of the days that Buster Keaton, and he's older. You see, he's older.
Yeah,
was on the set to advise on these films, and he's with Donald O'Connor almost every picture.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with that was a good point. But I really wish that I really would like to see the actual story as a movie, but I guess we won't. Yeah. But check out the TCM documentary about Buster Keaton with James
especially
Cameron.
because it's from Pathmark guy.
It's the path. Well, he tells you only have 24 hours to save.
Yeah, you have to act now. He was on the Jeffersons, and he was.
Oh, what episode?
Canceled.
Well, that was a crazy story. Well, we saw him in Hard Bodies too, of course, and he popped up in Revenge of the Living Dead.
I remember in Hard Bodies too. He was a arguing director. There were two directors, and then they got together.
Right. Well, there was a female producer, and a hard hat, cigar chomping male director. Okay, well, we went from Buster Keaton to Hard Bodies 2 again. Well, I mean, Carl, what'd you think of this movie?
I think it shouldn't have been made. I don't think it was good. I don't think it did any justice to. I mean, since it did get made, we can compliment Donald O'Connor. And we can say, hey, cool, Cecil B. DeMille is here, and Peter Lorre. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Since they made it. But I think the world could have survived without this film. It really.
I miss Jackie Coogan because I blinked.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't know he was going to go on to be Uncle Fester, but they did know he was the kid.
Well, he was a silent movie star guy showing up in a movie about the silent movie star guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Why not give him more?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. That's a curio. I would say it's a curio. It was a misstep. It's like Wired. It's like a lot of the film documentaries about celebrities where you go, I don't know. Weird Al documentary notwithstanding, I haven't seen it yet.
Streaming. Do you think I should see it? Is that Showtime?
But it's bad. It's bad, Carl. Like you should see it, but understand it's a great bad movie. It's a great bad.
It's not a documentary. It's a movie.
Docudrama.
Okay, and it's not the truth, right?
And they have to legally change like Bernie Brillstein's name, and they have to change they can't show any sketches.
Did they make him Girlstein? That would be so funny. Did
Something
they make
like
him
that.
Girlstein?
They call him Steven Spielberg. It's really weird. But all right, well,
PH. Wait, how is Steven spelled?
Mine's right. Is this Steve? I don't know. I've only seen his movies for the last 50 years. Let's see if we can figure it out. All right, well, Carl, that was the Buster Keaton story from 1957. I don't have a new movie because aren't we re-recording what's coming up? Nope.
Not if you don't have one.
No,
all right, you can text me.
Yeah, no, I mean, I thought we were going to redo an episode. So I was a little
we
out
are
of whack.
going to. This is inside baseball. You shouldn't be telling the audience we are going to do that, but that doesn't mean. I think maybe I'll edit this part out. I think we need to let a lot of time pass, like at least a month, so that it feels fresh again. We're watching it new. So.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. So Carl,
pick a movie.
All right. Who do you like?
No, not right now.
All right, I'll pick a movie. Fair enough.
What you do is you go to Mystery Science 3000 website and look at a film they've done, and let's do that one. Yeah.
Well, I like to go to the Yahoo homepage and I keep scrolling down And then eventually it says, you can't believe these 10 bad movies. I click on it, and it's a slideshow, and it shows me like Mac and Me.
Mm-hmm.
It's a terrible ripoff of E.T. Click here for the next movie. And then there's a little ad, and then it says, Meg, the Meg.
The Society.
Society. What a gross horror movie.
Yeah, listen, audience, we recorded this film Society, and it was such a bummer. We sank it. We said we're not airing it.
It's a cult movie from the 80s, a horror body horror movie, and it was just not, yeah.
But listen, if you subscribe to our non-existent Patreon channel, we will give you access to that piece of crap Society.
Right. It's the Inside Baseball access that you could get to hear the episode for an episode that really depressed the shit out of us and was not a show relevant. And then one where the YouTube channel decided to freeze.
Right. What? Stop.
All right. You're going to cut this all out, right?
About that. Okay, since he's bringing it up, maybe I won't edit this out. I watched the movie 3 times, the 4th time when we were watching it, but I chose a channel that I guess I didn't have experience with, or I just clicked on it and it said it was okay.
Yeah.
It froze frame. I was so embarrassed.
I still think you should play that up. It's available on our non-existent Patreon page. But in the meanwhile, Carl, people, if you enjoyed this show, we are, as we said up front, part of Mutiny Radio here in San Francisco. We want you to be part of Mutiny Radio. Go ahead and please donate. You can donate 3 wonderful ways. You can go to our website, mutinyradio.fm. There'll be a donation button. You can click there. You can go to Venmo and throw in money at Mutiny Radio. And I believe there is a GoFundMe page or another page out there. So if you have one of those charity pages, go check us out. But you can check out Mutiny Radio on Facebook. We're on Facebook as Let's Watch a Full-Length Movie on YouTube with Mike Spiegelman and Carl. And of course, our acronym for our YouTube channel and our podcast is LWAFLMOYT. Let's Watch a Full-Length Movie on YouTube. And we'll be back next Sunday at 2. We hope you enjoyed Found Round Sound before us, and we hope you enjoy all the programming here on Mutiny Radio. We'll see you again next week. Carl, thank you so much.
Thank you, Michael.
All right. Bye, audience. Thank you.
Let's watch a full-length movie on YouTube with Mike Spiegelman. Let's watch a full-length movie on YouTube with Mike Spiegelman. It's been over 1 long year watching movies bad, strange, and weird, commandeered by Michael. Hi, this is Carl. I'm Mike's friend. I wrote this song. My turn-ons are French poodles, Chinese noodles, and German strudels. You should follow me on Twitter. It's Jokes to Carl. That's the French duh, not the duh. Now let's watch a full-length movie on YouTube with Michael